Vuitton show, which we had 5, 6 hours ago, which is crazy how fast things move. During Fashion Week, it feels about 4 minutes ago. I mean, I'm sure everyone's already seen it. Was all over social media, all over everywhere. Oh, hi.
Hi, Callum.
I was doing my preamble.
I can hear you doing your preamble. I'm doing my sitting in the car talking to you moment.
Hello. Well, I'm in a very corporate hotel, not as nice as the car we've been driving around in all day, I have to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I didn't feature on the live review for Louis Vuitton today, just because we had a lovely guest, Chris, the editor at large of High Society, come in the car and discuss things with Georgie. But Georgie and I had very differing views on it, so I wanted to get my point across on the Louis Vuitton show. I mean, so you've seen it online.
Yeah.
Briefly, a lot. Has it been on your Instagram a lot today? I imagine so.
It probably has. I haven't been checking my Instagram very much today because I've been working on a film for Burberry, so I haven't really had much chance to go scattering around Instagram. And I didn't ask me anything on as we do, answering questions that come up on these programs and elsewhere on YouTube and on Instagram. So I did that this afternoon. I haven't really been on my Instagram very much, but I've heard a little bit about it. I spoke to Miles about it, so.
So it was a kind of ode to Michael Jackson, and that had been announced in the press. That had been announced in the press before, so it wasn't a surprise that it was going to be that. And my personal feeling was that actually, I don't believe Michael Jackson to be necessarily the Chic style reference. It's all very, very out there, very for TV or very for music. But it was all stage costumes. It was a lot more costumey than we're normally used to seeing Virgil, who quite likes a reasonably toned down silhouette. Oh, there's someone at my door. Anyway,
apparently we're like gay porn stars. Isn't that nice?
But I think there was something with, I think actually the way he did it compared to what we all thought it was going to be was really, really interesting. But actually, I just think going along with such a theme that he had pre-announced to the media actually probably stopped him going through some of his creative process. I mean, we both know Virgil very well and how he hops around from place to place, from idea to idea to people, finding all this amazing things. And that's what makes him the perfect Louis Vuitton creative director, because he travels so much and is so well traveled, so well read. And you tell him about something and you see him the day later, he's read the book you told him about, what he's done, he's that kind of person who's so engaged. Yeah. But I think because it had such a style, or this kind of strict point, it actually just felt a little mundane even.
Really? Why do you think it felt mundane?
It felt very literal. There was beautiful tailoring and beautiful leatherwork. I'm going to try. I'm on the gimbal, so it's not ever. There's beautiful tailoring here at this point was really stunning. But when it got to this look in particular, it just felt so lit. It's just you've got the breastplate there and the epaulets. It just didn't satisfy it for me, and I feel like actually the best thing about Virgin is seeing this eclectic mix of lifestyles put straight onto the catwalk, and it's so real and it's so this, and actually having the street, the set was the street of where it was filmed, and having all of this stuff, and then the floor lit up, and it was such a spectacle in that way that actually it didn't really do the clothes justice.
So you started going in your room?
I think it's my boyfriend. Let me just check. George.
Hey, it's George.
It is George.
Hey, George. Have a George on SHOWtalk. Evening, George. It's just George on SHOWtalk.
But
was George in the Louis Vuitton show?
No, George is not. George has been at castings all day. But what did Miles tell me about it? What was kind of your process? Because obviously it's very easy to be sitting around and kind of judging these things, but actually the impact these shows have out on a larger scale outside of I think it's 850 people there today. But
we talked, Miles and I talked a little bit about a bag that Kanye got Louis Vuitton to do quite a while back, and Miles thought maybe that bag was something that Virgil had put in the show as a kind of a nod and a wink to Kanye, a kind of tribute to Kanye. So there was some bag talk going on. Then there's some quite interesting musicians that Miles and I talked about. Just so anybody knows, we're just talking about somebody called Miles. Miles is a young man who works at Show Studio. He's one of our film editors, and he's a friend of Matt Williams, who has the brand Alix, and of course is the other art director from Kanye West. When Virgil was one art director at Kanye West, Matt Williams was the other art director, and Miles is a friend of Matt's. So he has some inside knowledge into kind of things to do with Virgil. So we didn't talk about it at length. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about it, but he was sort of saying how he thought it was some really super interesting musicians there and friends of Virgil's, and also on some of the graffiti and stuff was done by Jim Joe, who's one of
there's
New
really
York
good collaboration
graffiti artists.
But I mean, one of the things that I guess this is kind of the more, I normally don't, it's a harsh criticism, and not all of the collections like this at any point. Yeah. But the famous Michael Jackson moment where he did "We Are the World" or that song, and then Jarvis came and mooned him. There's references to that, not the mooning, but the song. And that performance of Michael Jackson is so pompous. And at points, this collection got a bit pompous, to be honest.
Right.
It just got a bit bigger than itself. And actually, what was so great about Virgil's first collection and elements of this collection was how subdued and subtly beautiful it was. But then we had looks like these flags. The grey one's lovely, but these flags just didn't kind of have that subtle elegance that you want out of Louis Vuitton, and that also is amazing to see from Virgil. But by no means was it an awful collection. There were great things in there, but it just didn't.
Something didn't chime correctly with you,
no, not in the same way that not in the way the first collection did. But I mean, it still is an incredible.
Someone wants to say R.I.P. Yams, so we've said rest in peace, Yams.
And then but finally, one amazing note is that lots of people were wearing his first collection Vuitton, men and women, and looked incredible in it. I've never seen, it was one of the best collections I've seen on consumers in a long time.
Oh, really? Well, that's good. Well, maybe this collection just needs to sort of sit with you a bit, Cal. Sometimes these things need a little bit of dissection.
It happens.
It was quite a stagey show. There's quite a lot of decor going on, and people doing kind of solos and as you say, walking down the catwalk with the floor lighting up in squares. So there's quite a lot of theatrics going on, and putting anything to Michael Jackson is a little tricky because he is such a sort of amazing, iconic, this amazing, iconic performer, and is so influential in so many ways for so many different people. So I always would shy away from attributing anything to anybody so highly important. But he's part of Virgil's culture and part of the, kind of the things that obviously inspire him and Kanye, and why not? I mean, if that's something he feels is correct. I mean, I haven't seen the whole show. I've seen little bits of it, and you're showing some stuff. There look like some interesting tailoring there, and some
completely. There's still a very good through line with what he did in the first collection, what I believe he wants to do, but just some of the bits where it verged off, it just felt a bit, it didn't sit right with me, but then it sat right with lots of other people in there. And as I'm just going to precursor this, that obviously this is my opinion, and by no means do I speak for anyone.
Of course it's your opinion, and that's why we want to have you talking on Show Studio, because you have a strong opinion on these things, and you're very honest when things don't work for you, and you're very honest when things do. So, I've had you being incredibly complimentary about what Virgil does, and I've also, had you being less complimentary, because it's Virgil is a very nice guy. We know him quite well personally. But he's like us. We're all trying to make it work, and sometimes I do a better story. Sometimes I do not such a good story. If you're willing to go out there and try things, then sometimes you don't necessarily get through to your public or your audience so easily. It doesn't mean the show's bad or the clothes are bad. It just means sometimes it's harder to understand. The message behind it is harder to understand. So, I'll be really interested to see how it sits with everyone and what the criticism is. He's a little bit of the sort of, golden child at the moment, that everybody's really, really excited to have him as the part of the, the main big houses. And that's, partly the sort of thing. It's so nice to see somebody of colour doing this
Yeah, and that was
that can't be enough. Yeah, that's fantastic and amazing, but it can't excuse any criticism of him or what he does. But I, as I said, I looked briefly through the collection, and it looked pretty like some really interesting things. But I haven't studied and haven't spent very long time looking at it.
But I mean, as they say, overall, like the leather work and the tailoring was stunning, but just some of the things didn't sit right and raised questions more than concerns. I'll put it like that. Anyway, I have to go because the restaurant that I've been dying to go to for the last 4 days is about to close.
Okay. All right. Well, I wouldn't want to keep you from your favourite restaurant. Lovely evening with George.
We'll speak tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right. Night.
Okay. Love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.